Hey guys, it's Audra. Welcome to another video. So today's topic is about PCOS. I have had literally probably 15 people this past week who have done consultations with me who in their consultation said that their doctor diagnosed them with PCOS and they didn't know what to do. And so I wanted to do a video for you guys, but also anybody else out there who has been diagnosed with PCOS and they're just kind of wondering like what in the world is going on. Like why is this happening to me and what should I do about it? Do I really have it? That type of thing. So I just wanted to start off saying that no, I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be a doctor. I'm not diagnosing you or undiagnosing you or anything like that. I'm just giving you something extra to think about. The reason why is because I was in your exact same situation. I was diagnosed with PCOS a few years ago when I wasn't getting a normal period, and it didn't make any sense to me because I didn't have any other signs and symptoms, and my doctor basically just said, okay, you know, you don't have your normal period, so let's do an ultrasound. Oh, you have cysts on your ovaries, so you have PCOS, so what you need to do now is go on a low-carb diet and exercise more because you're set up for insulin resistance and you can get diabetes and all this type of stuff. And it freaked me out, totally messed me up even more. And so I want to share this with you guys so that you are spared from going through all the stuff I went through to no avail. So basically, PCOS is something, I mean, it's real, okay? A lot of girls do have this, but the thing is, if you have gone to the doctor and you've been diagnosed with it and you don't have any other signs and symptoms besides just having an irregular period or a missing period, then I would be very, 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 very cautious. I'm not saying you don't have it, okay? Like I'm not a doctor, I'm not claiming to be, but I'm just saying as another person with experience with this, I would just be very careful to take that to heart and get on like all the medication they're gonna put you on or birth control or synthetic hormones or whatever. I'm just saying maybe you want a second opinion or maybe you want to try something different before you go down that road. It's not a fun road to go down. I've been down it, it's awful. Taking more and more and more synthetic hormones for something that you can fix naturally is really just a waste of your time. It's going to cause so many problems down the road. So when I talk about these other symptoms that you would have, basically people who have legit PCOS, okay? I'm not saying they would have all of these, but most of the time they're going to have many, many, many of these. So number one would be that you have male pattern baldness, okay? This is not hair loss. This is not excessive shedding. This is literally like your hair is balding on the top and it's totally fine on the sides, but it's like a man who would be balding like in middle age or whatever. So you would have that. Now I know a lot of girls will say, oh my gosh, well I have hair loss. Well, hair loss is due to so many different things. And so if it's not like excessive like male pattern baldness, and this is like so obvious. If you've ever seen like an old man who has like the hair around and he's bald on top, that's basically what people with PCOS get. Not to mention that, but you would also have like acne, and not just on your face, but it could be all over your body, specifically on your back. You would have abnormal hair growth, and this would not just be on your head, this would be like on your chin, on your neck, on your chest, like just random places on your body. You're like, why am I growing hair here? Like that type of thing. Most people also with PCOS have a deeper voice. It's kind of like more of like a masculine voice. It's not saying you're a man or anything. It's just saying you have a deeper voice, and you also have higher androgen blood levels. So for doctors doing ultrasounds and all that, you might as well get them to test your hormone levels. And if they're going to diagnose you with PCOS, then you want to see that you have higher androgen levels as well. Now, a lot of girls, like I said, me included, go to the doctor because you haven't had a period, and you tell your doctor, I haven't had a period, like I don't know what's up. And most of the time, you're probably underweight, or you've had some type of restrictive tendency, some type of dieting, some type of overexercise, something that literally has just shut down your period. You go to the doctor and they basically say, okay, well, let's just take a little ultrasound and see what's going on. And most of the time, you probably don't even tell them about your past. You don't tell them that you've had disordered eating habits, or you overexercise, or you hate your life and you're stressed out all the time, or you're in a really bad relationship, or whatever is going on in your life. You just tell them, and you're only with them for what, like 2.5 minutes maybe, and then they're gone. Then they set you up for an ultrasound and they do it and they go, oh, you have cysts on your ovaries. Well, the problem with this is that every woman has cysts on their ovaries, especially if you have been through this restrictive phase in your life and you haven't had a period in forever. Your ovaries are just sitting there stagnant, okay? There's no movement going on. So when they go in for an ultrasound, what do you think they're gonna find? It's like a ghost town in your ovaries. So the worst thing that you can do is basically what I did. I took the advice, and again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not trying to sway you, I'm just giving you a second opinion to think about this, okay? The worst thing you can do is take their advice, take the medication, take the hormones, and go on a low-carb diet, because that's what they're going to tell you to do, and they're going to tell you to exercise even more because you're at risk of type 2 diabetes and obesity. Oh, and that's another thing. Most people with PCOS have a very, very, very difficult time losing weight. And this is not like, oh, I feel fat today, like I have some like lower belly fat, or my stomach's kind of jiggly, or my legs are big and I want to get down to super duper thin. That's not what this is. This is like obesity, and like you can't lose weight, okay? So if that is you, if you're this person who just hasn't had your period because you've had restrictive tendencies, you've been dieting, you've been doing like laxatives and diuretics and colonics and enemas and skinny teas and exercising a lot and trying to just like run yourself into the ground to get skinny, and you've lost your period in the meantime, and you go to the doctor and they tell you have PCOS, the last thing you want to do is go on another diet and exercise even more and take more hormone medication. That is not what you want to do, okay? You can heal this naturally, and that's the best line of defense in my opinion. Again, I'm just speaking from my personal experience and my experience working with hundreds of other girls in this exact same situation. I know that a lot of girls that I've worked with in the past have emailed me, and they've just been so concerned, rightly so, that you know, their doctor told them they had PCOS, and their doctor told them that not having their period is okay, all they gotta do is take this medication, blah 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 blah, just get on this medication, and they don't need to actually heal their body, and they really can't get it back naturally. They need to take this medication. And they've emailed me and been like, Audrey, like, I don't know what to do, like, do I keep going through with this, like, what do I do? And when I've told them, look, you can heal this naturally, then the ones who have hung in there, they've healed it naturally. They've got their period back. They've gotten back on the right track mentally and emotionally and physically with food in their body. And they never had PCOS to begin with. They didn't. They just had restricted their food. They lost their period. They went to the doctor, and the doctor prescribed them medication and diagnosed them with PCOS, and it ended up possibly hurting them in the long run. But since they didn't go through with it, now here they are living happy, healthy lives, getting their period, moving on with life, and everything's great. Obviously in this video I can't sit here and tell you what you need to do specifically, because I don't know your situation. You can easily just, oh gosh, that sun is strong. You can easily just email me, and we can do like a coaching session if you want some more tips and advice. I would be more than happy to help you. My email address is thisgirlaudra@gmail.com. But again, I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be a doctor. I just have a lot of experience in this, and I'm here to help. I've worked with hundreds of girls in the same position, and I'd be glad to help you out if this is you. I'm not sitting here trying to be anti-doctors or whatever, you know, but I am saying it is healthy, and it is, I think, good for you and fair to get a second opinion and to consider other things that could be going on, instead of just walking into a random gynecologist and have them tell you X, Y, and Z. That's not always the best course of action, especially if you have a background that they have that they don't know about, okay? I know it can be very, very frustrating, and you feel just lost and you don't know what to do, but I would love to do a coaching session with you and help you get back on the right track. And for those of you who do have legit PCOS, okay, like legit, all those things that I describe, that's you. Like, you're like, yes, 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 I have a deep voice, I have acne, I have male pattern baldness, I'm overweight, I can't lose weight, you know, on and on and on. I have high androgen levels, I have irregular periods, that type of thing. The best course of action for you that I can definitely say is a plant-based diet. There's a lot of doctors who have advocated for this, specifically Dr. Neil Bernard. You can Google him, and I'll leave his information below, but he talks about how a plant-based diet is awesome for people with PCOS. Personally, a plant-based diet is awesome for anybody, in my opinion, but yeah, that's that. And the last thing I'll say, people with PCOS have irregular periods. They might have them once every 2 to 3 months or something, but they're very sporadic. People who don't have a period at all, that's not the same thing. Irregular and non-existence periods, or irregular and amenorrhea, is not the same thing. Irregular means you're up and down. Non-existence means you don't have a period. So if you don't have a period, like it's been gone for months and months and years, I'd be very careful about the whole PCOS thing, especially if you don't match those other symptoms and signs as well. So, hope that's helpful. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.